Damanini, this is Gospel Cylinder, otherwise known as Son of a King, or if you like, Mwana wa Hosi, Nzimwana wa Hosi. Before I go any further, my heart is with the people of Mozambique in Maputo. I see that you guys are having floods, and it's terrible since yesterday. And I pray that God helps you and to give you strength and keep you safe and your family safe. And yeah, man. Yeah. Today I want to speak about a very subject that is close to my heart, which is music recording and music business. And the reason why I'm recording this video, 2 days or 3 days ago, I uploaded a status on Facebook and where I was talking about how bad it is for us as gospel artists to record an album and then sit with it for another year to release it. And when I was saying this, I was cognizant of the challenges that we come across as musicians. Because remember, I'm also a recording artist myself. I know what happens, with that. But I was sitting down and I was thinking from experience, maybe before I even start sharing. I recorded my live DVD in 2021, and it was my first live DVD. And I have noticed, I've observed that there are things that I did well on a DVD and there are things that I didn't do well. And I believe that my project could have performed better if the things that I know now, the things that I want to share with you now, I had it in mind when I was doing that project. Not to make this video long, let me get straight into it. I've seen the comments that were made on the post. Some people appreciated what I was saying, but also just to highlight that even our honorable Mr. Ngube Wombata, who gave us his input, and which was a very profound input, and we thank you for that input, sir. And yes, you said when I come to Johannesburg, we must sit down and have coffee and talk about this. And I believe that yes, we will. And I will hit you up, and we will definitely have that conversation. I know I'm gonna learn a lot from you because you've been in the game for longer than I remember. I was still in varsity when we heard of you the first time, and up to today, you're still doing very well. Thank you very much, sir, for your contribution to the craft. And yeah, just to shoot straight into it, I take how we do our recording. I take it the same way we do our weddings. When we're planning for our weddings, we're planning for the wedding day. We are worried about everything on the wedding day: food, clothes, decor, accommodation, and then videos and all those things that makes the wedding perfect. And we find we spend a lot of money, but most people don't plan beyond that to say, after today, this wedding, where are we moving into? What are we gonna eat? Do we have enough money to start family together so that at least the first 6 months or the first year of our marriage is at least a bit comfortable? Remember, you're taking umntana Bantu from her father's care, and you're also leaving your father's house to start your own family, and you must start feeding this poor woman that you've married, and you must also eat and stuff like that. But in most cases, we don't plan beyond that. And that's what happens when we do our recordings. We worry about the budget concerning the recording itself, the band, the music, post-production, the features, accommodation, the venue, the sound, and mixing and mastering, overdubs. And sometimes, to an extent, some people don't even plan for overdubs and mixing and mastering, and which is even more of a problem. But those who do, at least the planning ends there. There is what we call a release strategy, album release plan. Most gospel artists, I can tell you now, because I'm one, and I was helped by my coach, his name is Andy Lenkosi, to actually know this. Because I was going into a recording, I didn't have an album release strategy. I didn't even know what was a press kit. A press kit is something that if media or any newspaper or any media, or they want to have an interview with you, you want to go to ENCA for an interview or whatever, and they want your profile, that's what you send, a press kit. You don't just say, type a Word document and send it. It's unprofessional. A press kit will also have live links attached to it that when they click on it, it does on PDF. When they click on it, it takes them straight to your YouTube page, or it takes you straight to your Spotify or any outlet where people must consume or hear your music. Most people don't know that, but you go into a recording and the budget is there for the recording, but you don't plan it precisely. An album release plan is basically a document. It's in black and white that says who you are, what kind of an artist you are, or what kind of music are you producing, who is your primary market, your secondary market, and your tertiary market, and what platforms are they using to consume your music. Is it hard CDs? Is it USBs? Is it digital space? And if it is digital, is it YouTube? It is Spotify, or is it iTunes, or whatever the case is? And their demographics, where are they? And how are they reachable? Are they reachable on social media, or are they physically reachable, and where? And beyond that, a release plan will tell you also as to after your album is done. It will tell you, it's like a project plan. It will tell you that album will be finished at day X. The first single will be dropped at day X. Who is going to be doing that? Because you need to put money for all these things. For your music to be pushed on radio, you need to get people that will help you to do radio sampling, proper radio sampling, that they put your music on SABC database and they make sure that every radio station have your music. That's where you're gonna make your money, because royalties comes from airplay. But if now you still have this tendency of, I'm gonna call someone I know from Metro FM or Kwala FM, it's a friend of mine who's gonna push the music while I'm there. That's a wrong way of going about it, and you might actually lose a lot of money that you could have made if you did proper radio sampling. It's actually called radio sampling, and there's people who does that. People like Abu Tabiso, who can actually help you to push radio, and they also help you to do radio interviews, particularly radio. There is people who does PR for TV, your appearances and submissions and stuff, and those people require money. And there is PR that helps you to be socially inclined. Brands like Mercedes, for instance, they're having a closing function or a function. They can make sure that you are there. You do corporate gigs and you make corporate appearances. Things that you don't have to have a poster to say Gospel Cylinder is performing at Mercedes, because that's not an invite. It's a corporate gig. But your brand must also be relatable to such spaces. And there's people who does PR for that. SNL, who's this lady? Oh, I forgot her name. I'm gonna search for her after this. I'm gonna put her on somewhere. She's gonna appear here. And those things requires money. There is people who does aggregation for your music to be ingested for Vodacom, Telkom, all this thing, and for your music to be played overseas, you need an aggregator. And those people is money. You see, so your release plan will tell you all these things and what you need to do, and it will tell you exactly how much you need for the project in its entire state, which includes PR. And it will tell you also, it gives benefits to the investor. So if, for instance, you're outsourcing money, you also need to, okay, no, we're not going to talk about that today. You see, so can we start perhaps as a suggestion to work backwards, where you go to the end of the project. To the end of the project will tell you, I want this project to achieve A, B, C, D. Say, for instance, I want to build my brand to be relatable, to become a household name in South Africa or Mozambique or wherever. You work from that end to say, okay, in order for me to build my brand, who do I need to be pushing this album? Which PR company is relevant for me, for my type of music? Which media outlets are consuming? Who can be able to ingest my music in such medias? If it's a podcast that I need to ingest my music into, if it is in movies, if it is in adverts, if it's made into jingles or whatever, all those things. Then you start planning from there, coming back, and then it can help you. It can actually kind of like save you money, because sometimes you don't need the whole album. In most cases, you just need a song. You know, you just need a song. I'll tell you about Ngudu, Questus Ngudu. You know, it changed his life, that one song. And it was only after Telkom gave them a deal for them to do the campaign, Vodacom, Telkom, that they started making serious money. I remember Cassper Nyovest, Doc Shebeleza started making money when MTN came into body. He also did a campaign for MTN, I think with KFC. I don't remember exactly the details. But there are people that must be hired to take your music and look for work for that music, you know, to make your brand socially, to be socially inclined. I don't know what, relatable, to make your brand relatable to the public. And that's called PR, public relations, you see. And I'm blessed that I'm in spaces where I can learn these things, because I don't blame us for not knowing, because no one is out there teaching us these things. I'm just blessed to be in spaces like Ujoya Celebration, where I'm learning to the people that are experienced in these fields, about Dr. Lindelani Mkhize, Ubaba, Pastor Jabu Hlongwana, Baba, Pastor Mthunzi Namba, you know, my PR, my friends who are having PR companies, Abu Helga, and other people like Abu Monica, and Abu Andile Nkosi, Abu Tabiso. And I'm just blessed to be in such spaces. And I believe that if I do my next album, it's going to do very well, because I now know exactly where I need to. I don't know everything, but at least where I am now, my knowledge gap is a bit more than my knowledge gap in 2021. So we need that in our plannings. And there is other things, and this is just the tip of the iceberg. And there are so many things that needs to be known. And I know that you guys, right now, what I was just doing is just to stir the pool so that we can jump in and be healed, you know, to stir the thought process and to start this conversation with my fellow music friends. And let's see how best we can help each other. I am available. I'm reachable on all my social media platforms. I'm Gospel Cylinder, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. And also you can reach out to me on my company. My company's phone number is 082-540-4653. That's Son of a King Media Group. Or you can email me at info@gospelcylinder.co.za or gospelcylinder@gmail.com. Let's start having these conversations and let's build on this. I'm just throwing this thing as an idea. Let's start building on it and see how far we can go together. There is nothing that I want more than to see us succeed, especially as gospel artists, because our music carries so much life and it brings so much healing to the people. And if we do it well, we learn together, we grow together, I believe that we will change the world. And the world is actually ready for Africa. And if we start learning as much, because our ability to earn is assimilated from our abilities to learn. Our learning ability will increase our earning ability. And let's take this as a starting point. Let's start having this conversation and let's see how far we can go. Yeah, we'll talk some more some other time. Let me cut this video short for now, and we can go into detail on the album release plan as to what exactly are the things that are required there. And if you feel like we're taking long to do another video, just reach out to me on those outlets that I've shared there. But yeah, man, that's about it. Peace. I'll see you on the flip side.